What is up, guys? Welcome back to Loud and Proud. It's been a whole like 2 days since I've seen you guys again on the channel here, so sorry about that. It's just, you know, having a great Memorial Day weekend, trying to spend time with family, and so didn't have any trucks up there and just kind of taking it easy. But me and Dad are actually headed up to Mako right now to try to get an estimate on what it's going to cost to get the old 12 valve painted. And I know there's some people out there who are going to, you know, bash talk Mako and be like, ah, you know, like they're cheap, whatever, like they're not the best. But you know, I've heard a lot of good things about them, you know, through forums and everything else, and people are like, the only people who complain about them are the people who get the economy paint jobs that are like $400, and then they're whining because they expected a $4 grand job. So we're gonna go see what they're gonna do, what they can do for the truck, and see if they have any examples of work that they've done, and see what they're gonna quote us for. And then if they quote us, you know, something reasonable, and after we get the truck done, we may possibly do another truck of ours, that 7.3. But yeah, who knows. So we also may check to see what it's going to cost to get the lining done on this, because that's kind of annoying. So anyways, guys, we're going to head up there and we'll catch you guys back in a bit. Well, we just arrived, so we're gonna run in there, try to get a quote. I'm not gonna take the camera in though, just for the sake of privacy, I guess, in the shop. But we're gonna go in there, talk with the guys, get back to you guys when we come out. Okay, so we just got out of Mako and we talked to a guy there, and he went over the whole truck, quoted us, and he said if we were to do the whole truck completely white over again, have all the rust taken care of, panels cut out, re-welded in, all the holes that we have from the moldings and on the tailgate, all, you know, welded up with new patches of metal and everything else, everything done, all the ins and outs, the highest quality paint job they could do. He said that it'd be basically $4,100 to do it white, or if we did a two-tone with a charcoal gray, which would basically the whole center of the truck, basically to the top of the bed in the hood, down to the body lines where those moldings were. If we did that whole center like a charcoal gray, like a metallic gray, almost like a gunmetal gray, and then the bottom and then the top of the truck all white, he could do that for $4,500-ish. Yeah, I think $4,500. So it was a pretty good. Some people may complain about that, be like, oh, $4 grand, but we've had people quote for paint jobs from people that apparently didn't really know what they were doing for like 10 grand. So it was kind of like, you know, it's just one of those things. They're chain, they do it all the time, they know what they're doing. So yeah, so we're definitely gonna consider it. Just gonna have to give it a little bit of time, because this stuff does get really expensive really fast when you're doing multiple trucks, so can't do it all at once. But we are gonna go by a place that does the linings for these trucks and cars and stuff, and floor stuff. So we're gonna go stop by their place and see what they could quote us for having the truck done as well, because this crap is really, it's just annoying. So catch you guys back in a bit. we just got back from our little trip, you know, going to check and see what it was going to cost to do body and paint work, and we also went to check and see what it was going to run us for interior work. And basically what the guy said there at the interior place, he said, I would recommend you guys just do the carpet yourselves, and I also recommend you take out the bench and you take off the headliner yourself and all that stuff. He's like, all this stuff is going to save you a bunch of money. It's really easy to do. And so basically we're going to do that ourselves, a lot of that stuff, but I think we are going to have him take and put the new headliner on the truck, which also may be an easy job, but we're just gonna have him do it. It's not much, it's like $100, so that's what we're gonna do, you know, for that. And I'm going to hopefully be looking at a truck today. Actually, I've got my eye on an old second gen 12 valve, and it's a 96. And I kind of asked you guys on my Snapchat, which if you guys haven't added me yet, add me. I'll leave my links right here just for a couple seconds here. Add me on my Instagram and my Snapchat, and so whenever I ask for you guys' opinions and questions and looking for answers, you guys can kind of fill me in on certain stuff that I'm asking about. So anyways, I had put a picture of this truck and a couple other ones up on my Snapchat, and I asked you, I said, now should I go with, you know, truck 1, 2, or 3? Pretty much nobody said truck number 3 except for like one person. They said it's a plow truck. Don't ever buy a plow truck. There could be frame issues. There could be rust issues on the frame, stuff like that, because you know it's all the elements if it was a plow truck. So just that kind of deal you got to be careful with. And you don't know if it's 240,000 miles of easy use or if it's 240,000 miles of pushing snow and hauling trailers, you know what I'm saying? So you just don't know. You just don't know with any truck really. But then for the second truck, it's a regular cab, long bed, 4-wheel drive, bone stock from the mirrors to the, I mean, just tires and wheels. Everything is just stock, like looking. It's just old grandpa special, just stock. The only thing is, it's not, the paint's in pretty good shape, but there's two little spots of rust on it, and it's in front of the wheel well on the front driver's side and passenger side. There's just a couple little bubbles starting up, but that's the worst of it. There's no big mess of rust on the, you know, rear fenders and all that stuff, and in the front all the way up and around. The rockers are still there. The cab corners are really in good shape, and the frame is in really good shape. You know, the mounts to the frame of a lot of those trucks, that ends up being something somebody will overlook, is the mounts to the, you know, to the cab, to the frame. And those are usually rusted out so bad that your cab can actually start to come loose on those trucks. You just gotta watch that kind of stuff. This one's actually in really good shape. He sent me pictures of all the cab mounts, and there's like not even surface rust on it. So it's like, it's really nice. But the only drawback is it's a 320,000 mile pickup truck. So it does have some years on it. So there could be little hidden things that you don't know about that may seem fine when you go to test drive and look it over, that could come back to bite you in the butt soon. But with that motor, with that 12 valve motor, and being a good block, I think it's going to be a truck that I'm probably going to have, and to be very truthful with you, maybe a year. I'm going to build it, maybe more, it just depends, but I'm probably going to buy the thing as cheap as I can, get a new paint job on it because I want a solid color. I want to paint match, I want to get a 4th gen bumper, tow mirrors and all that good stuff, and I want to paint match it all, the grill and all, and go that route. And I would like to do either like a super cool blue, a super cool like metallic, bright metallic red, like a candy apple red, or almost like a gunmetal gray or like a silver with a lot of metallic. And I just like that look. Some people like the flat look. I'm not really a fan of just like a flat color. I think it looks a little bit plain Jane. But yeah, that's what I might do with that truck. But you know, who knows? There's a lot of things that I'd like to do, but plans can change as you get into the build. But anyways, hopefully going to be able to go look at that truck tonight. If I do go look at it, I will definitely keep you guys up to date. Another reason why you should add me on my Snapchat and Instagram, especially Snapchat. On Instagram I do post updates for videos and stuff like that and what I'm working on, but for Snapchat I do a lot of updates throughout the day of what I'm looking at, you know, what the prices are, what your opinions on, stuff like that. So that really helps, and you guys can really chime in on that type of stuff, and I really do appreciate it. Anyways guys, that's what we're probably going to wrap up the video for today. That's all I really had going on, was just going to check on the paint job pricing as well as the possible headliner pricing. So that's what we did, and I think we're going to get it done. Not sure when we're going to get the paint done on that 1st gen, but it's probably going to be something that we're going to get done fairly soon, probably sooner than wheels and tires, just because that's something we want to get finished up, just in case we want to change our mind on a set of wheels depending on the paint job and, you know, what we decide to go with, just to make sure everything kind of ties in really nicely. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment below, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.